Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over a November 2024 Canmore Real Estate Market update. You know the drill. We'll talk about some overview statistics, talk about some specific property types. So let's get into it.
All right. Well, I guess we won't be talking necessarily on the market update until after Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody who is out there and follows us and gets this market update from Parker and I. We just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Let's get into the market update. So the overview from November 23 to November 24. The sales were 39 in November of 23, 29 in November of 24. So that's down 25%. The average sale price was 1.1, and the average sale price in November 24 was 1.182, so up 6%. The average square foot price for November of 24 was $707 a square foot. Average days on the market in 23 were 35, in 24 was 58. So again, a little bit longer on the market, up 64%. So that gives you an overview of the whole market. We'll get into specific categories.
Start off with single family homes. We had 8 sales for an average sale price of $1.66 million. The average square foot price, $622 a square foot, and it took an average of 66 days to sell.
Townhomes, we had 9 sales for 1124, sorry, $684 a square foot, 42 days on the market.
Apartments, we had 3 sales for an average sale price of just over $750,000. The average square foot price, $702 a foot, and it took an average of 64 days to sell.
Half duplex, 1.5 million was the average sale price, $611 a square foot, 19 days on the market.
Hotel condos, we had 4 sales for an average sale price of $606,000. Average square foot price, $825 a foot, and it took an average of 59 days to sell.
In tourist homes, we had 2 sales for an average sale price of $831,000, $1,062 a square foot, and 139 days on the market. Now, one of those properties was 251 days on the market. So that gives you an idea of kind of where the tourist zone or tourist home investment properties are selling at. They're taking a little bit longer to sell. Especially the one that was 251 days, but finally did sell, like everything seems to in Canmore. So
You bet.
yeah.
Let's dive into some year-to-date statistics as well as some inventory levels. Sold listings year-to-date, 2023, we had 476 sales. Transitioning to 2024, we had 445. So that's a dip of 7%, but overall, pretty right on par.
Yeah, I think we're just, and we'll talk about that as we get going here.
Yeah.
So, end of month active inventory, 131 in 2023, 100 and 125 in 25 or in 24, down 5%. But again, very, very similar.
Yeah. Average sale price year to date, 2023, we were just over a million and 45,000. In 2024, we're at $1,180,000. So we're up about 13%. So that's the number that we've kind of seen month to month as the general appreciation levels of the Canmore real estate market. So it's a very fair number to take into consideration.
Yeah, I think, between 10 and 12% is kind of what we see year to date in the Canmore Bow Valley market. So holding steady. So maybe let's just talk about, you and I went back and forth a little bit here before the video and in the last few days, just about the market. Over the last 4 or 5 months, there's been some ups and downs, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
We saw when interest rates went up, it took some time for the market to realize that. And then interest rates started to come down. And then in turn, it took some time for the market to realize that. You and I were talking about, we're just in an uncertain market. And I don't mean uncertain as the Canmore market is uncertain. I mean, people are just waiting. You said something to me that maybe there's some deals in Canmore. And then I said, yeah, there's deals, but there's not a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
And then you said, well, Yeah, you don't usually get both.
Right.
And you're correct. So, I think with interest rates dropping and then, the Bank of Canada going, "Whoa, hang on a sec. We're not sure. Maybe we're going to go up."
Yeah.
People are just waiting. They're waiting. And then the second part of that is typically November, December, January are our
Slower
slower
months
months
for
here.
sure.
So I think overall, both Parker and I feel, and you can speak to this, Parker, as well, but we both feel that the Canmore market is strong
Yeah.
and will continue to, grow 10 to 12% year over year as we continue to move. Obviously, we saw some crazy numbers through COVID, but
Yeah.
that was an anomaly. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what you see and think going forward.
I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the head. We obviously have too little of data to start looking at the November 2024 statistics and going, you know, sales are down 25%.
Hmm.
Initially that seems like a drastic number, but I don't think it's alarming at all. Our average sale price is up. And I think at the end of the day, if you are a buyer, I do think that there are some opportunities. I mean, we're seeing interest rates now at a point where they haven't been for a little while.
Hmm.
And I do think that there's some good opportunities. Obviously, we're not seeing that level of inventory that we want to, but I think it's just everybody is completely in a little bit of an unknown
Hmm.
phase where what's happening with interest rates, this US election, are rates, are they going to go back up? Are they going to continue to go down? But I do think it is a good time to be a buyer, and in turn, I don't think it's a bad time to be a seller either.
No, the data supports that.
Yeah, the data supports that for sellers. I just think for sellers, it's just that time of year. I had a conversation with a lady the other day and about listing her place, and honestly, I think that the recommendation at this point is wait till the new year,
Mm,
because there's not a whole lot happening right now. And we all know that what happens when days on the market gets up, people start to go, okay, well, what's wrong with the property,
yeah,
right? Why
or
has
I
it
can
been
get a
sitting?
good deal.
Or I
Right.
can get a really good deal, which isn't always the case. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion. I think that we're in a very solid, steady market. I think the interest rate conversation's a little bit uncertain, which is kind of
Hmm.
maybe holding buyers out a little bit longer than normal. But I think overall, if you're investing in the Canmore market or you own in the Canmore market, clearly the data supports it. 13% we're up year over year. It's still rock solid. We're not seeing any uncertainty in the market at all.
No.
Um, yeah, that's my take on it. I think the biggest thing is for the people who are watching this video is to stay tuned to our next our next video where we break down 2024 as a whole for the whole entire year. That's going to show some really good data. And that data is going to be positive data just based on our monthly updates. I already know that it's going to be some good and exciting information for people who are in this market. But overall, I think that we're pretty steady. It's a slower season. There's not much happening.
Yeah. Well, and I think you and I were looking to, I mean, you were looking at the Canmore or the Cochrane market,
Yeah.
and the numbers there are growing.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a real estate agent out of Red Deer, and he was telling me the dollars are less,
For sure.
but properties that were X amount 3 and 4 months ago are now astronomically more.
Yeah.
And he was saying to me that he believes that this next year is going to be a strong market. Alberta's poised to be very, very solid and strong. We are going into an election year
Yeah.
in Canada coming up, and it'll be interesting to see, where that takes us and the volatility, whether there is or isn't,
Mhm.
happens. Sometimes not typically, historically, we'll see the market be very strong in a election year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, the states and what's going on there, and that election, and it's just, let's see what the new year
Yeah.
brings. I'm super super excited
Yeah.
for what's coming in,
Yeah.
in the valley for sure.
And I think at the end of the day, right now, for buyers and sellers, the biggest thing I can probably recommend is just hang in there.
Yeah.
Like just hang in there. If you're a buyer, just hang tight.
Yeah, be patient.
There are some good opportunities, but that property is going to come to market. The rates are going to, we're going to get a better understanding of that. And so just hang in there. And then as a seller too, don't necessarily, I mean, I got my place listed for sale. It's been on the market for a little while. We're not overpriced.
Yeah.
It's just, you just got to hang in there right now, this time of year and what's going on. So I encourage anybody who's selling out there to do the same. But other than that, I think overall we're pretty solid. We're really looking forward to what 2025 has to offer. And Christmas will be fun, spending with the families and reflecting on 2024 and
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. So we look forward to providing you the annual market update in a month or so. And in the meantime, enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.